Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing with you how I would cover up this huge thing right here on my face. Now, I have not had breakouts in a couple of months now, and of course the one breakout that I do get is really big, it's noticeable, and it's super red, which is like obviously not very convenient, but on the bright side, at least it happened after the holidays, so I didn't have to walk around with this huge thing on my face. So I'm fresh out of the shower. I already put on some chapstick because my lips are super freaking dry right now, and I moisturize my face. I moisturize my face with this Curology moisturizer, and then I put on the Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen, which these are the two things that I wear before my makeup, or even if I'm not wearing makeup, I always put on my moisturizer and the sunscreen right here because I've noticed my acne scars lighting up and of course not getting darker because I'm protecting my skin. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so now that my skin is moisturized and I applied sunscreen, I'm going to go ahead and apply my primer, and I use a Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I love this stuff, and I have a lot of pores and a lot of imperfections in my face, and so I feel like this does exactly what it says, and it smooths out my face and everything just looks flawless after I apply my foundation, concealer, and things like that. I'm mainly going to focus in on the spots where I have all of my pores just to smooth everything out. I'm gonna apply it over that acne blemish right there too. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I have the color Fair Light Neutral 16N, and then I'm just gonna put that right on my cheeks where I have my acne scars, and then I'm gonna put it right over that pimple too, and on the other side where I have other acne scars as well. And then I'm going to grab my damp Real Technique sponge and just lightly pat it into my skin and even everything out. And if I keep looking over there, it's because I have my mirror, so don't mind me. So I do see it peeking through a little bit, and even though I know the foundation would cover it up, I'm just going to put a little bit more concealer on that area. Alright, so now I have finished applying my concealer onto my face, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do my eyebrows and my eyes while that soaks in, instead of me applying foundation right afterwards, because it is tacky and I want it to dry up a little bit, so that way when I apply the foundation it doesn't move around everywhere and the concealer stays. So I'm just going to do my eyebrows and my eyes really quick, and then we'll get started with the rest of my face. Now for my eyes, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and I grab the pencil number 12 for my eyebrows, and then I just pretty much pencil it in, of course right here going with the lighter hand, and then darker as I go towards the outside of my eyebrow. Alright, so now that I filled in my eyebrows, I'm going to grab the same Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and basically just clean out my eyebrows. Alright, so now that I finished my eyebrows, I'm just going to grab the rest of that concealer and just pat it onto my eyelids, so that way I can have them ready for the eyeshadow. Now that I did that, I'm going to grab a fluffy brush, and I use the Morphe M504 brush, and then I just grab my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder in Original, and I basically just lightly pat that powder onto my eyelid, just because I don't want the concealer to be tacky when I apply my eyeshadow, because then it'll just crease all over the place. Alright, and now that I have done that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Morphe M330 brush, and then I'm going to grab my favorite palette in the whole entire world right now, and that is the Tati Beauty palette. I'm so glad I got my hands on this palette because I absolutely love every single color. So I'm going to grab the color Soothe in the matte, and then I'm basically just going to apply it all over my eyelid. Alright, so now that I finished my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Frankie Rose Cosmetics Matte Perfection Foundation in the color Bear. And then I'm just going to add 1 pump of this on my hand, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the same foundation but in the color China Silk and do like half a pump of that, and then I'm just going to mix both of those colors together. The reason why I mix both of them together is because I feel like it creates my perfect shade. And then I actually didn't decide to ball out on 2 foundations just to mix my perfect shade. I originally bought the China Silk one, but it was way too light on my face, and then their returning policy sucked, or at least where I got it from, so I wasn't able to return it, so I had to purchase the next one over, which was the Bear one, and that was slightly too dark on my face, so I was like, well, I can't return that one, so now that I have both of them, I'll just make my own perfect shade. Alright, so I'm just gonna apply that on my face, and then I'm gonna lightly pat it on that blemish and then all over my face as well. And then I'm gonna grab my damp Real Technique sponge, and I'm gonna grab the Morphe setting spray and then just spray that. And then I'm just gonna blend out my foundation very lightly. And then when I get to the blemish, I just make sure that I'm very careful and pat it very lightly. Alright, and then as you can see, it did cover up pretty much the entire blemish, but it is peeking through a little bit because it's inside my skin and I can't pop it even though it looks like it wants to pop. Now I might go back to it a little bit later with concealer, but I'm just going to finish up my eyes, and I'm going to grab the same Tarte Shape concealer that I've been using the entire time and then just apply that under my eyes. And I'm going to go in with my Real Technique sponge and just lightly blend everything out. And then with that extra concealer, I'm just going to lightly go over that blemish again. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my Bare Minerals powder that I used on my eyelid. And then pretty much just put powder throughout my entire face, and I like to pat it on my eyelid just so that I don't swipe away the concealer. And then I'm going to lightly pat it on that blemish as well. And then with another Real Technique sponge that I use for powder, I just go under my eyes to brighten everything up. And then I did put a little bit on the blemish as well. That way when I put on my contour, it doesn't move around anywhere and makeup just stays put. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that powder. Alright, now that I did that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Morphe R14 brush, and then I'm going to grab the Dior Backstage Contour Palette and pretty much just contour my face. Now I do have a very small face, so I try to bring it up a little bit more, but not go too crazy in towards my lip. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, trying to be very light, only because I do have the blemish there, and like I mentioned, I don't want the foundation or the concealer to move around. Pretty much just bronze my entire face, and then I wipe off the extra contour bronzer that I had on the face, and then I'm gonna grab my blush and just try to focus in on my little apples of my cheeks. I just put a little bit on my nose and on my forehead. Alright, and then I I grabbed the Airspun powder that I was using to bake under my eye, and I use another Real Technique sponge and just carve out my face right here. And I feel like because I have a small face, this kind of just gives me like that facelift. And then I just wipe it away. I am gonna go ahead and put mascara on right now and then my setting spray. Alright, so I just finished mascara, and then for that I use the Artistry Studio NYC Edition Lash Boosting 3-in-1 Mascara, and it is by the company Amway. It's made in Italy and it's really good. So that is what I used for my mascara, and then I'm just gonna spray on my Morphe setting spray. Alright, and now that I have applied my setting spray, I pretty much just put on a lip balm and use that as my lipstick. And this is pretty much my everyday makeup routine. As you can see, that blemish pretty much covered up completely compared to when I first started off with no makeup, which is crazy. If you guys decide to use these steps, let me know if it worked out for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. If you don't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram to follow my day-to-day life. And I post a lot of fashion on there because that is another hobby of mine. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.